Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And as you can see, at least the weather today is, again, a bit gloomy, I've got to be honest. Different car parked outside the house today. The normal red one is behind, and there's a new one there. Don't know who that belongs to. But anyway, Jane and her mum, they've gone out to do a bit of shopping. I'm in the house waiting for the arrival of a postman. So it was a good time just to get the broadcast out of the way while no one's about. Can't believe, hey, Christmas is not far away at the moment. Big shout out to Sam Curtis, also Paul Brignall, that's tuning in. So today, things are moving not only here in the United Kingdom, but also back in Greece. So I think, first of all, just a quick look at the weather forecast. Thank you to Amanda again for the weather forecast in comparison to Britain. The weather in Greece at the moment, Thursday's weather, she says, Ginge, sunny in the morning, but turning cloudy later in the afternoon. Temperature's 13 degrees, but it's going to feel like 16. Anyway, she says, have a great day. As for Leek, cloudy temperature, or top temperature, about 4 degrees, all right? So it is different. I was out yesterday, and again, as long as it's not raining, I don't care. I'd rather have snow and cold rather than rain and drizzle. Anyway, Sam Curtis is telling me that it's mild and cloudy in Brighton at the moment. Probably not much difference in the weather there. And we're a little bit further up the north way. Right, let's have a quick look at COVID in the last 24 hours in Greece. Interestingly, the numbers have started to drop again. You might remember yesterday it was 6,242 new cases reported in Greece. Today I can report 5,641 new cases. That brings the total now since the pandemic started up to 1,049,936. 8 cases were identified into Greece yesterday in comparison to 4 on the day before. Again, at the moment, so far, no figures on Omicron. The last figures for Omicron at the moment in Greece was 26 cases in Greece, and there's not been any more cases being confirmed at the moment. And those cases were located in Crete, Attica and Lakona. So again, only 26 cases officially been reported of Omicron in Greece at the moment. As for cases on the islands at the moment, again, the numbers again are going down actually, which is interesting. Lefkada, yesterday I reported 8 new cases. Today, numbers dropped slightly to 6 new cases. They've seen a downward trend at the moment through the week, and they are in green. As for Corfu, Corfu had 71 cases confirmed today, and the day before they had 95 cases. So they've seen a slight downward trend as well. Don't forget Corfu is in dark red. That's the highest state on the Greek traffic light system. As for Kefalonia, no new cases on Kefalonia been reported in the last 24 hours. I was rooting through all the data, couldn't find Kefalonia mentioned at all. They'd had 5 the day before that, and 5 the day before that, and 5 the day before that. But at the moment, no new cases reported on Kefalonia. Kefalonia is in yellow. And then as for Zakynthos, yeah, we've seen a drop as well. I reported to you yesterday 8 new cases. Today I can report 2 new confirmed cases, and Zakynthos is in the amber. So again, the figures on the islands, the epidemiology is looking positive, shall we say. Right, now, when it comes to deaths, unfortunate as they are, I'm reporting now that we've had a drop in deaths as well. Yesterday I reported 75 deaths. The day before that it was 85, and the day before that it was 91. Well, today I can report 69 new deaths across Greece at the moment. That means the total death toll since the pandemic started is 20,055. Obviously, we went over the 20,000 mark just yesterday. And then as of now, no deaths have been linked to the Omicron mutation. all of those people, or the majority of those people, had underlying diseases, 95% of them, or were over the age of 70. And again, our condolences to those families that are affected, especially at this point when it is so close to Christmas. To lose a loved one just before Christmas is devastating, and obviously it's just reinforced even more so at this time of year. When it comes to critical cases at the moment in the ICUs at the moment, that number is starting to drop as well. Critical cases, yesterday I report to you 670. Today I can report 665. Critical cases in hospital, 408 of those are male, 257 of those are female. The average age is about 63 years of age. 78% of them have underlying health issues or over the ages of 70. Now, regarding the vaccination status of those 665 in hospital at the moment, 553 of them are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated. Again, we've still not been told whether partially vaccinated includes only just having 2 jabs rather than having the 3rd booster. Anyway, that's 553 people in that position. And as for fully vaccinated, 112 of those people in ICUs across Greece are fully vaccinated. Right, okay, a quick look at a snapshot of what's going on in the UK. It is a snapshot at the moment in regards to COVID. It seems that the Welsh First Minister, Mark Drakeford, announced a new wave of COVID curbs coming into force on Boxing Day. Anyway, the measures are going to include a large ban on indoor and outdoor gatherings, a wide rule of 6, and a table service will also be imposed on pubs as well. Also as well, he said social distancing will return and people are being advised to limit household mixing as much as possible. Not only is the Welsh Minister doing this, but also in Northern Ireland, the Stormont ministers yesterday agreed to a series of restrictions due to come into force on Boxing Day also. Now, these include the closure of nightclubs and a guidance to the limit of contacts between different households. Now, meanwhile, back in the United Kingdom, in England, Boris Johnson is facing calls for clarity on New Year's Eve after delaying decisions on curbs until after Christmas. Anyway, interestingly, the Imperial College of London found Omicron patients are between 20 and 25% less likely to be admitted to hospital. That is the reason why there was all this ramping of everything up. Researchers analysed that more than 3,291 people infected with the Delta and Omicron between the 1st and the 14th of December. Neil Ferguson says the wave will be nothing like what we'd seen last year, with ICUs overflowing with patients. Anyway, announcements on further measures won't be made this week. Okay, this is in England, meaning that last minute New Year's Eve clarity for venues is still unsure. So at the moment, another thing that I did notice this morning, Boris's popularity in the opinion polls is at an all-time low. Boris at the moment, I think, is thinking very carefully about measures to basically Christmas at the moment looks like it's safe at the moment, but after Boxing Day going up into New Year's Eve, there is still no 100% clarity as to what England's plans are. We know what the Scots, we know what the Welsh are doing, and we know what the Northern Irish are doing. But as for England at the moment, I think Boris is skating on very thin ice. Most of the people that I've spoken to in the last 24 hours are all sick to death of everything. Let's just get on, have a good Christmas, have a good New Year's Eve. People have done and gone above and beyond everything been asked of them, whether they've had the 3 jabs, whether they've worn masks, basically. And also some people have decided that they're cutting down, on their own repugnance, people coming into their homes, etc., etc. But the majority of people, to be honest, are sick to death of what's going on at the moment, and all they want is a proper Christmas. And I think there's a lot of Welsh and a lot of Scottish and a lot of Irish who are probably thinking the same as the English. For God's sake, why? Hospitality industry is virtually on its knees. and it's going to be compounded even further. And to be honest, at the end of the day, I don't think it's all about health. I think there is politics at play as well in the background. Okay, and I will say no more on that area. All right. Right. Just to let you know, at the moment, as far as I can gather from the details from the British information being put out here, there's only been 10 recorded deaths in the UK from Omicron, and that's as far as I can find out in regards to deaths here in the UK. But deaths in general in the UK are actually down. Right, okay, let's have a look then at what's going on in Greece at the moment, because the same kind of madness is still running over there as well as running over here. It's like all politicians worldwide have all bitten into the same thing. Let's vaccinate, get ourselves out of this pandemic. But anyway, just to remind you that travellers from the UK and now Denmark now, all right, I did mention this yesterday for those people travelling about from those countries to Greece, just to remind you that COVID PCR tests have to be done before you can come back into the country. And also just to let you know, I am now into my day 8. If you look at that, this is the testing pack that I've got to do today and post off. All right. And for my day 8 test to confirm that I am allowed back on the streets, although I was allowed back on the streets as of yesterday. And it was nice to walk around the shops, I've got to be honest. So again, more testing here while I've been over here on holiday, as it were. Anyway, just to let you know now, unvaccinated healthcare staff in Greece, at the moment, they will have another 3 months to reconsider their stance at the moment on before being terminated. The Greek Health Minister Thanos Plevris said in a parliamentary address yesterday, just for those people who are not quite sure what's happened there, all workers in the Greek national health system, they have to be vaccinated. And if they're not vaccinated, they were basically put on suspension from work, unpaid suspension, I might add. So they were told to go home. They weren't welcome back in the hospitals, even though they'd been working in the hospitals surrounded by people infected with COVID during the first couple of lockdowns, etc. And also for the fact that 90% of their colleagues that they work with who were vaccinated for whatever reason they had it, worked hand in hand, side by side. And then obviously for some reason the Greek government got it in their head that for somehow unvaccinated people in hospitals, in the medical staff, were unsafe to the patients who already had COVID, who were in the hospital, and they were all suspended with no pay. And they were sent home. Unless they got vaccinated, they were then not allowed to return to work. Well, it seems the problem there was that with the Greek health system, once you fire all these people, highly qualified, some of them ancillary staff like cleaners and people like that. But the point was this: once you start firing these people from the running and management of a hospital, the hospital is then under more pressure to basically treat people with less staff. And everybody said this is crazy madness. Let them decide whether they want the vaccine or not. But no, the government was adamant they had to make a stand, and the health workers were the people. So basically what's been happening now is that they're going to be given another 3 months to reconsider their position, i.e. another 3 months to get the jab before they are allowed to work. Now, up until now, doctors and nurses in the Greek healthcare system who refused to be vaccinated against the coronavirus were suspended without pay and given 3 months to change their mind, or they would be terminated. Anyway, on Wednesday, the Greek minister clarified that the measures will be extended for another 3 months to March the 31st, 2024, before they would lose their jobs. So again, at the end of the day, pressure which has been already implemented in the Greek health service is going to get implemented into the UK health service, and we're going to see what happens there. And already, as always, the NHS in the UK pleading that they're under pressure. The system is breaking every year. And obviously, this just puts more pressure there, because obviously you're going to start firing highly qualified nurses and doctors and also ancillary staff for not taking the jab, when it should again be their choice, and they're surrounded by people who are infected, working probably literally hand in glove with people that have had the jab, we've got no problem, who are glad of that extra pair of hands at their side, whether they're vaccinated or not. Anyway, also as well, the Greek Health Minister Thanos Plevris said on Wednesday that the Greek government is considering imposing some restrictions after the holiday season to control the spread of coronavirus. Now, where have I heard that before? Anyway, the government on Tuesday, the Greek government on Tuesday, stopped short of imposing a registered rapid test for everyone at a pharmacy or testing centre before entertainment venues on New Year's Eve. That was something that they were considering doing, choosing instead to call for a self-test for the unvaccinated and a strong recommendation to get tested for those who have completed their vaccinations. Anyway, the minister said during the debate in Parliament over the health ministry provisos on the pandemic on Wednesday, it is a clear position of the government. The expert committee is currently meeting that after the holidays, there will definitely be a framework of restrictive measures. So again, it looks like everybody's doing the same, despite the evidence to show that the Omicron variant is not as deadly as what everybody was first saying that it was. That also hospital admissions were on the way down in the UK. Also in Greece, they have been a little bit up and down, but in general now they look like they're going down. And obviously the infection rates are also going down as well. But still, there's this push. More vaccinations to basically vaccinate their way out of a crisis, when I think a mixture of natural immunity along with the vaccination is probably the best route to go. Anyway, by the by, and it's interesting as well that they were for New Year's Eve going to allow unvaccinated people to participate in society, whereas at the moment in Greece, if you're unvaccinated, you are not allowed entry into anything other but a shop where you go in to buy food, so at least you can't starve. But all other entertainment, all other mixing of the public has all been put to one side. But anyway, we'll still wait and see. Got a bit of time yet to go till New Year's Eve, and we'll see how things work out then. Now, also interestingly, again, with the Greek system, elements of the Greek police identity card, the famous blue card that you get when you live in Greece as a citizen of Greece, not as a resident, but as a citizen, the elements of the Greek police identity card will be incorporated into the COVID-free app, okay, to make it easier to verify the identity of a vaccination certificate when you go into a shop or bar or wherever. You must produce a certificate. And they normally get their phone, they scan it, and a big tick then goes up in green to say, yeah, that is okay, you can come in. But normally the staff will ask you to verify your identity so that people aren't swapping them between each other. Now, the interesting thing, you would just produce your ID card or your residency permit or your passport, and then you'd be allowed to go in. But now they're saying for the convenience of those people working and for you yourself now, we won't need you to take out your passport, your residency card or your identity card. We'll put that on the app. So as soon as it ticks, ding, yes, we know that this is Ginge Coldwell and you are now safe to go in. I personally haven't put that app on my phone. I'm still happy to take out my passport, my residency card and my certificate of recovery and show them that before being allowed to go in somewhere. So again, another little mark of control coming in there, keeping tabs on who's going where and doing what. Again, I can't see why they need to install that into the phone itself. I know probably some bars and restaurants, it might make things a little bit safer for them in the way of not getting fined, in the fact that, you know, you have to make sure that whoever is being checked in is the person they say that they are. There have been cases of people swapping documentation between them, but then again, that's at the honesty. I suppose it does take a bit of pressure off those persons running a bar or restaurant, that that person is the person they say they are. They don't get into an argument with somebody because they don't look like the picture on the ID, etc. But anyway, I'll leave that up to you to think about on that then. Also, as well, another story not related to coronavirus. The former chief of Greece's fire service. Now, he's due to stand trial. That trial was due to start on Tuesday over his alleged attempts to cover up the failings in the response to the deadly blaze at Mati in eastern Attica in the summer of 2018. Now, Vasily Mathopoulos faces charges of dereliction of duty, among other crimes, in the wake of complaints regarding his response to a judicial inquiry in following the handling of the blaze, which claimed 102 lives and left more than 32 people with serious injuries. In fact, it has been said that this fire was the downfall for the Syriza political party, and that was one of the reasons why they lost the election, was because of the amount of deaths that occurred because of cuts to the fire service, etc., while they were in office. Anyway, the ex-fire chief has been the subject of a complaint filed by an expert appointed by the Athens prosecutor's office, Dimitri Loussos, to investigate the possible criminal negligence in response to the fire in the East Attica town. Now, in the lawsuit, Lytus claims that under the pressure from Mathopoulos to cover up evidence pointing to multiple failures by the fire service in its response to the blaze, which started on the slopes of Mount Parna and quickly spread through to the Dout seaside resort. Now, the trial is expected to be postponed possibly until after the holidays. Now, I'm not going to go too much into that because, again, at the moment, this is a trial. This is now running. And basically, I don't want to be accused of undermining Greek justice. But to be honest, it's interesting that the fire was of a scale that 102 people lost their lives, but this fire was in no way on the scale of the fires we had this year during the summer, which were even bigger. And luckily, only one person lost their life in that fire. And that was actually a man who was a firefighter going to a response to go out as a volunteer fireman, who actually was killed on his way to do his job. And again, you may remember that firefighters from all over Europe and also from Russia came over to help the fire service in Greece fight fires. And a lot more money now has been found for the fire service in Greece to obviously be able to fight and contain fires. And once again, in the summer, these guys do a fabulous job. You may remember in the summer, I reported on the fire plane at the back of our house where we lived, where they were fighting a fire and the plane crashed as they were fighting the fire behind us on Zakynthos. And we were very lucky in Zakynthos that we only had two kind of serious fires, but not overly serious fires in comparison to some of the other islands across Greece who were absolutely devastated by fire. So again, we'll keep an eye on this trial. We'll see how that trial also pans out as well. And finally, another little interesting story that just came across my way in Greece. The Greek Coast Guard, they've been out along with the police. They've been participating in a search and rescue operation trying to locate a missing monk from the monastic community of Mount Athos, which is up near to where Halkidiki is, up on the coast there. Now, this 58-year-old monk, he went missing after taking a boat out to sea on Monday, with the authorities being alerted on Wednesday that the monk had failed to return. And obviously, they are searching now to see if they can find him. Hopefully, he's okay. He probably caught a lot of fish and might have been a bit slow getting back in. But again, hopefully, the gentleman is okay. Right, just going to say a quick shout out to those people that are tuning in at the moment. Dennis Patrick Carroll over there in Cyprus. What's the weather like where you are, fella? Is it still hot or is it wet at the moment? Nice to have you looking in. Jill Ford is looking in as well. Nice to see you. Also, Lindsay Lamb over there in Zakynthos is looking in as well. Gary Horsfield says, morning, Ginge. Great to see you on home ground, mate. Hope you're enjoying your vacation from your normal regime. Happy Christmas to you and Jane, your mum, and all the best for 2022. Anyway, cheers for that, Gary. I greatly appreciate that. Rafa Raffridge buddy, how you doing? Also as well, Steve Simpson is tuning in as well. Nice to have you looking in, Raffridge buddy. Jerry Coyle, Raffridge buddy as well, tuning in. Mick Gilmore as well, another Raffridge buddy tuning in. Paul Gartenside, another Raffridge buddy tuning in. Jeremy Paul Buchanan also tuning in. Jeff Wood looking in as well. Sam Curtis over there in Brighton. That just quickly reminds me, I had to reload the Northern Soul show simply because it got corrupted and people were having difficulty trying to play it back on Mixcloud. So I've had to reload it, reinstall it, and so that show should run quite happily. The great news is the show I did, the dance anthem show from last week, is actually charted and has actually entered the global chart as well, which is even more amazing. So thank you for the support there. Don't forget, tomorrow, Christmas Eve, got a fantastic dance show lined up for you on Christmas Eve, a bit Christmassy. I'm amazed at all the Christmas music playing everywhere in town at the moment, walking about. Are you sick of hearing Christmas music at the moment, or are you kind of enjoying it? Put your comments below as to whether you're enjoying the Christmas music still. But anyway, dance anthem Christmas music. I've got some crackers for you tomorrow night, and make sure you come and join us. Probably be in the chat room before. Jane and I have got plans to go out on Christmas Eve and meet up with a few people. Right, I'm going to leave that there. You have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Get the last of your Christmas shopping together. Let's see that Boris doesn't do anything stupid after Boxing Day. Let's hope we can get Boxing Day, New Year's Eve through. Let's pray that some common sense might rule in Scotland, in Wales and Northern Ireland, so people can enjoy themselves. I cannot believe Madam Cranky's cancelled New Year's Eve in Scotland. I really can't. That's madness. Just for our own safety, it's madness. But anyway, we'll wait and see. But anyway, you take care. Have a great day, and I'll catch you later. Ta-ra!